Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So, are you missing me guys? Hahaha. For not to killing the time, I want to tell you about our topic today. Our topic is Australian Parliamentary Debate System. So, before the video, I want to introduce myself first. So my name is Aulia Agustina with NPM 20010300051. Now I want to explain Australian parliamentary debate system ya. So still watch me ya guys. Okay, we started. Australian parliamentary debate system. The Australian parliamentary debate is conducted by two teams with 3 members each. Each team member is positioned as Speaker 1, Speaker 2, Speaker 3. One of the two teams acts as supporter and the other as opponent. The debate is led by a moderator, assisted by a timekeeper who sits next to him. The jury, which consists of at least 3 people and odd numbers of people, sit in front of the audience, who are considered to be members of the assembly. The audience only watch and listen to the speaker's speech and give applause after the speaker ended his speech. Before the debate took place, everyone who participates in the debate was already in the debate room. At that place, the moderator will draw which team will sit in place of the support team and the opposing team. Then, the moderator shows 3 motions or topics that will be used in the debate competition, namely motion 1, motion 2, and motion 3. Teams will select motion in order of priority. The motion that both teams get the top choice priority will be used as a debate motion. For example, the support team vote in the order of motion 2, 3, 1, while the opposing team vote in the order of motion 3, 1, 2. Then, the motion to be debated will be motion 3. However, if the support team choose the order of motion 1, 3, 2, and team opponents choose a sequence of motion 3, 1, 2. Then, the moderator must decide between motion 1 and 3 by choosing a coin. After the motion is determined, the moderator gives both teams 13 minutes to build a case or formulate a case. Usually, the support team is in the courtroom and the rejection team is outside the courtroom. When the two teams formulate case, the opponent's moderator or committee writes on the blackboard the title of the motion in the debate, the names of the speakers for each team and their position, including who will deliver the counter speech. So that's all explained about Australian debate parliamentary system. Now I want to give you an example of Australian Parliament debate system. So, happy watching guys and see ya!
Of course, it was a pretty amazing day in the Parliament. 2 years of anger boiled over with the opposition leader and the Prime Minister exchanging insults and invective. During a rare move to sack the Speaker, as Chris explained, Tony Abbott said that Julia Gillard's government should have died of shame, a nasty echo of the slight directed at her father. The Prime Minister unleashed on Mr Abbott's character, calling him a misogynist. Here's Chris Ullman with the day.
The This is the first opportunity that I have had to affirm to the House that I deny allegations.
Peter Slipper has said little publicly since the sexual harassment case against him was launched.
If we could just have a bit of decorum today.
It's been 6 months since Peter Slipper last graced the Speaker's chair. He still has the title and the salary, but has stood down from chamber duties while sexual harassment claims against him are tested in the federal court.
The mediation was successful.
He might be out of sight in Parliament, but he isn't out of mind.
This Speaker is no longer a fit and proper person.
His occupancy of the Speaker's role is no longer tenable.
The damage that's been done to this Parliament has damaged us all.
Court disclosures of more base text messages sent by Peter Slipper are the latest bludgeon in this Parliament.
And I only allude to the gross references to female genitalia which are contained in the uncontradicted, undenied evidence before the court about the conduct of this Speaker.
This was the opportunity the Coalition had been seeking since Peter Slipper deserted its ranks for the trappings of office in November.
And I move that, as provided for by Section 35 of the Constitution, the Speaker be removed from office immediately.
In 112 years of federal parliament, no Speaker has ever been voted from office, and it's a decade since an opposition has tried. The arguments were that the vile content of some of the messages brings the highest parliamentary office into disrepute, and one which refers to a female coalition frontbencher as an ignorant botch reveals bias.
In undenied, uncontradicted evidence before a court against a member of this House by someone who is charged to act without fear or favour.
But Peter Slipper is a surrogate in this fight. The Coalition's war is with Julia Gillard.
Well, I say to this Prime Minister, just as the Speaker has failed the character test, you, Prime Minister, are about to fail the judgment test, and every day that you, Prime Minister, run a protection racket for the current Speaker, just as you ran for months and years a protection racket for the member of for Dobell, you indicate your unfitness for high office as well.
The Prime Minister stepped up to the fight, and her attack was direct and personal.
I will not be lectured about sexism and misogyny by this man. I will not. And the government will not be lectured about sexism and misogyny by this man. Not now, not ever. The Leader of the Opposition says that people who hold sexist views and who are misogynists are not appropriate for high office. Well, I hope the Leader of the Opposition has got a piece of paper and he is writing out his resignation. Because if he wants to know what misogyny looks like in modern Australia, he doesn't need a motion in the House of Representatives, he needs a mirror. That's what he needs.
And if you've ever wondered if things like this make the Prime Minister's blood boil, then wonder no more.
I was offended when the Leader of the Opposition went outside in the front of Parliament and stood next to a sign that said, "Ditch the witch." I was offended when the Leader of the Opposition stood next to a sign that described me as a man's bitch. I was offended by those things. Misogyny, sexism, every day from this Leader of the Opposition.
Perhaps on reflection, the opposition leader might regret some of his choice of words today, given part of what he said so closely resembled the attack on Julia Gillard launched by broadcaster Alan Jones.
And every day the Prime Minister stands in this Parliament to defend this Speaker will be another day of shame for this Parliament, another day of shame for a government which should already have died of shame.
The government is not dying of shame. My father did not die of shame. What the Leader of the Opposition should be ashamed of is his performance in this Parliament and the sexism he brings with it.
Late this afternoon, the Speaker released a statement saying that the text messages were intended to be private, but nothing excused their content. He said he understood why women would be offended by them and apologised unreservedly. He kept his job today by one vote.
The result of the division is ayes 69, noes 70. The question is therefore negated.